It is indeed possible to encounter household dishwashers requiring a 20-amp circuit. While many dishwashers operate on 15-amp circuits, certain models, particularly those with features like powerful heating elements for sanitizing cycles or built-in water heaters, necessitate a higher amperage circuit to function optimally and safely. The reason for this requirement stems from the dishwasher's power consumption characteristics. The nameplate current rating indicates the continuous current the appliance is expected to draw during normal operation. However, dishwashers often have momentary peak demands, especially during the initial heating phase or when the motor starts. These peak demands can exceed the nameplate rating and could potentially trip a 15-amp circuit breaker if the appliance is connected to it. Providing a 20-amp circuit offers a safety margin to accommodate these peak demands and prevent nuisance tripping. It is important to consult the manufacturer's specifications and installation instructions for the specific dishwasher model to determine the correct circuit requirements. The installation instructions often specify the minimum circuit size and the type of overcurrent protection required, such as a circuit breaker or fuse. Failing to adhere to these recommendations can lead to electrical problems such as trip breakers, overheating wires, or even fire hazards. The National Electrical Code (NEC) provides guidelines for sizing electrical circuits for appliances. In EC Section 210.21, B1 states that the rating of any one cord and plug connected appliance shall not exceed 80% of the branch circuit ampere rating. For example, if you have a 20-amp circuit, the appliance should not draw more than 16 amps continuously. While a dishwasher with a 15-amp nameplate might seem suitable for a 15-amp circuit based on this rule, the potential for peak current draw necessitates the 20-amp circuit. Moreover, it is also vital to consider the wire gauge used for the circuit. For a 20-amp circuit, typically 12 American wire gauge (AUG) copper wire is required. This wire gauge is capable of safely carrying the 20-amp current without overheating. Using a smaller gauge wire, such as 14 American wire gauge, which is commonly used for 15-amp circuits, could lead to overheating and pose a fire risk. When installing a dishwasher requiring a 20-amp circuit, it is crucial to ensure that the existing wiring is adequate. If the wiring is not sufficient, it will be necessary to run a new circuit from the electrical panel using the appropriate gauge wire and a 20-amp circuit breaker. This work should be performed by a qualified electrician to ensure that it complies with all applicable electrical codes and safety standards. Furthermore, the electrical outlet used for the dishwasher should also be rated for 20 amps. Standard 15-amp outlets are not designed to handle the higher current and should not be used. A 20-amp outlet has a different configuration than a 15-amp outlet, with one of the slots being a T-shape to accommodate a 20-amp plug. If you are unsure about the electrical requirements of your dishwasher or how to properly install it, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. They can assess your electrical system, determine the correct circuit size, and ensure that the installation is done safely and in accordance with all applicable codes. Ignoring these electrical considerations can have serious consequences. Overloaded circuits can cause wires to overheat, which can melt the insulation and create a short circuit. Short circuits can lead to fires, which can cause significant property damage and endanger lives. Therefore, it is essential to take electrical safety seriously and to follow the manufacturer's recommendations and electrical codes when installing a dishwasher or any other electrical appliance. In summary, firstly, some dishwashers, especially those with high power features, require a 20-amp circuit. Secondly, always consult the manufacturer's specifications and installation instructions to determine the correct circuit requirements. Thirdly, ensure that the wiring and outlet are properly sized for the circuit. Fourthly, if you are unsure about any aspect of the installation, consult with a qualified electrician. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your dishwasher is installed safely and operates reliably. Remember, electrical safety is paramount. Taking the necessary precautions can prevent electrical problems and protect your home and family from fire hazards. Additionally, it is worth noting that the trend in appliance design is often towards greater energy efficiency. However, even energy-efficient appliances may still have momentary peak demands that necessitate a higher amperage circuit. Therefore, It is always best to err on the side of caution and provide the recommended circuit size. Finally, keep in mind that electrical codes and regulations can vary depending on your location. It is important to be aware of the specific codes in your area and to comply with them when installing electrical appliances. Your local building department can provide information on the applicable codes and regulations. Electrical work should always be performed by a qualified electrician who is familiar with these codes.